I'm Sukania Venugopal. I've been a performer for a number of years, since the last millennium. I act, sing, and dance, but my strength, I believe, is in theatre, in acting. And as I said, I've been doing it for a very long, very long time. So, arts has been part of my life. There was no before or after. I'm still in the arts. And it's a very, it's a journey, basically. And I'm still on the journey. And it's a wonderful ride because I love it. I resonate with performance, with theatre, with in any genre of the arts. So yes, so as I said, there is no before and after. It's an ongoing process, basically. My exposure to arts was right from young. My mother was a performer, and she was an amazing performer. And we were exposed to a personality. She had a very strong personality. And both my sister and I were exposed to this personality. And she kind of set the, what do you call it? The benchmark for how we should be as performers. And I'm very grateful for that to my mom. My foray into theatre was when I was in the university. There was nothing much to do in the university. So I took part in this play called the Insect Play. I was in the first year, and the second years or the third years were directing it, for the English, what do you call that? Those who are reading English. So I went along for it, and I just enjoyed it. I mean, there was no stage fright or anything. I kind of embraced it. I welcomed it, basically. So from there, it continued. But it continued because I basically enjoyed it more than anything else. And if you don't enjoy doing something, it's pointless doing it, right? So this is how it cultivated my love for theatre. So in that process, when you do one play from theatre, I did the first of my plays was actually when I was 15 years old with the Philharmonic Society. Did this Oliver, a musical, and then university, and then they hear of you and they see your plays, and then not by chance, but you just end up meeting all these directors, wonderful directors, and they obviously had some faith in me, and so they invited me to be part of their productions, and so that's how I got to meet so wonderful, not just the local, also you had foreign directors. There was the directors like Bosco de Cruz, Uncle Bosco de Cruz, Leslie Dawson, Mustafa Noor, and they were all really very strong personalities, and I was blessed to be able to work with them. Yeah, so they also in a way helped shape my love for the theatre. When I first started, there was no money, no remuneration or whatever it is. You just did it for the love of it. Even, what do you call that, transport money or nothing. You just did because you wanted to do it. You wanted to be part of it. But now I think sometimes the money issue comes into play. And there are, I think, some actors, not who see that first before actually thinking of the role, or whether that is a suitable play for them. If the money is good, they'll do it. And I basically don't believe in that. I will have to see the script and see if I can resonate with the character before I say yes to a particular project. And so there have been projects where I couldn't quite relate to the character, and so I kind of turned it down. And when there were very lovely roles that came along my way, there was this Putri Gunung Ledang, which we did. And that character was such a lovely character to play. It was in Malay, a bit Indonesian sort of Malay kind of thing. It was a musical, and that was in 2006. That was when I first started going into theatre on a full-time basis, around that time. So, and ever since then, I've been getting roles where locally as well as abroad. Like this year, I had the opportunity, or again, I always see it as a blessing, to do Mahabharata in Canada with a Canadian theatre company. And that was in March this year. And in 2019, I was again blessed to be part of this Australian theatre company called Belvoir Theatre, and we did Counting and Cracking for the Sydney Arts Festival. So like that, I've been quite fortunate in getting all these projects. I must admit that I don't quite know what the current situation is where theatre is concerned. Although, having said that, I watched a performance lately and I loved it. And I loved the energy of the younger people. And that gave me an assurance that there is a future where this theatre is concerned. And they were fully committed to their roles, and you could see that. You could see, and it was very believable, the characters that they portrayed, because of their, so I said, the commitment and their dedication. So if that is there still in the younger generation, then it will just go on, you know, from one good platform to a better platform and so forth. But in terms of staging plays, if they use a lot of technology now, it has to, I believe it has to enhance the play, not just for the sake of using technology, because it's always the storytelling. The traditional storytelling is all, you know, is wonderful. When you have technology in it, if it screws up, then you're in trouble. Like when I did this Mahabharata in Canada, it was divided into two halves, karma and dharma. Now, karma was the traditional storytelling, where we all sat around. There was this fire-like thing, and you sat around, and the storyteller, as she reveals the characters, we come on and we perform the particular scene. Then we came to dharma, and dharma was all technology. And there were days when it didn't work. So we had to revert to the traditional form of relaying our, giving our dialogues and all that, because this thing, the screen wasn't catching us. We know this, what do you call it, the cameras, and the camera was supposed to be pointing at you when you're saying, it wasn't working. So as actors on stage, we had to rely on our training and place ourselves in such a way that the audience are able to still relate to the scene that we're doing. You know, so that's the drawback of technology. And if you don't have that knowledge, it must be really good. And skill, then it can backfire, you know. Knowledge of any kind is always good, whether it's performing arts or whatever. And with that knowledge, you also give or hope to relay principles, values, which and belief in yourself. It's more of that. It's more of creating an individual who is able to stand on his or her own right. I mean, you know, and be able to serve society. That's what's important. Serving society, serving people. Well, people, society is the same, right? But always that should be there, I think, through the arts or through the sciences or whatever, always serving humanity. That should be the goal for, that's what I believe. I'm not sure if many people do, I don't know. But I believe that that's what the final outcome is to serve humanity. So through knowledge, through the principles that you have, through the values that you have, don't compromise your principles in any way, even if it means that it wouldn't serve you for the better by compromising. But if you stick to your guns, it will all work out in the end. You know, So you should always, I think, have that at the back of your mind when you're doing it. The intent, the effort, the endeavor, that's important. Not so much the result. The result will be positive if this is right. You know, if it's sincere, if you do it with a sense of sincerity and you're genuine about it, you don't have to worry about the end result. It'll work out for itself. And this I got from a very wonderful, not saint, but he's an up-and-coming lecturer. I mean, he gives lectures, spiritual lectures. So he said this, and I thought it was, it makes a lot of sense. That forms the basis of a person. You know, as a scientist, you still have to have a base. And the arts, I believe, forms that base. And from that, you can jump things off from that base. If you take that away, then when you say about humanity, you're also talking about what do you call that? Qualities of humility, and you know, all that. All that comes from the arts, not just from the arts, from a person. You know, so there's so many scientists who are just cut off from that, I think, in a way. And there are other scientists who are not, and you resonate with those who are not, who have that. So I think the arts is very important. We all live the arts, you know, on an everyday basis. We are not scientists. I mean, we boil water and all that is a part of the science thing, yes, but the day-to-day basis of living, it's all stems from the arts. First and foremost, they should look at themselves and know what it is they want. But get to it not deviously, or you know, not in that way. achieve what you want through humility, through love, through kindness. If you have those qualities, that will help you in not just the arts, in anything. So if you're starting out for the very first time, first of all, you must have the love for it. You must be passionate about it. If you're not, then it won't last long, you know. So if the passion is there and the drive is there, but don't just think of it in terms of how much you can get out of it. You can get out of it in terms of how it can enhance you, yes, but not materially, not money-wise. If you just think along those terms, then you will end up being disappointed. You will end up being extremely, what do you call that? Deflated. You know, all those. For a while it might work, but after that, you just find a certain sense of emptiness in you. So, and there are a lot of people who just, after a while, they just give up in whatever field that they are doing because there's nothing to sustain them. There's food for the soul is not there, you know, the nourishment. So the nourishment can only come by you being accepting, by you being embracing things, and go and look at things with an open heart. You know, don't decide before it's this and that and then stick by that decision, because then you won't learn anything. Never be proud about anything. You must take pride in what you do, but don't be proud, because when you are proud, you stop learning. You will not accept advice or whatever that's being given to you, because you think you know it all. And that's dangerous. I mean, for you, for a person who's growing in a particular field or whatever. Personal growth, development, that those basic values, those basic beliefs, believing in yourself and sticking by what you believe in. As I said, even if it means having to give up certain, things which might be, which you hold dear at that point, but by giving that up, you might end up growing in a better way. So have a good life, everyone. Enjoy your life. Believe in yourselves. And love what you're doing. Yeah. Thank you. Radhe Radhe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Janavallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jai Shri Radhe Shyam.